Welcome, thanks for joining me. Let's unpack the photo everyone's been talking about and what it really reveals about Melania Trump right now. A recently resurfaced image of Melania Trump has gone viral again, and the internet's reaction has been loud and immediate. Some viewers focused on the visual details, others on the surprise of seeing a different side of someone who has long managed her public presence tightly. Social posts and reshares turned the photo into another flashpoint in the ongoing conversation about celebrity images, expectations, and how the public reacts when a carefully managed persona appears in a more candid moment. To understand why one photo can create so much noise, it helps to remember how deliberate Melania's public life has been. Since returning to the spotlight during her husband's second presidential term, she has made relatively few public appearances, favoring select events and controlled releases that shape how the public remembers her. That scarcity increases the weight of each image. A single candid or resurfaced shot stands out amid otherwise carefully staged portraits and official appearances. Coverage of her public frequency and selective visibility makes clear that these moments are rare and therefore magnified. The visual discussion around the photo is layered. Some commentary zeroed in on proportions and presence, while other takes framed the image as a reminder of how public reactions can be about memory and projection as much as about what's actually in the frame. In a world saturated with edited and filtered images, an unvarnished photo prompts different responses: admiration, surprise, critique, and each response tells us as much about the commenter's expectations as it does about the subject. That's why conversations seeded by images like this are rarely just about one person. They expose wider cultural attitudes toward authenticity, age, and privacy. There's also been a running argument about the boundaries between legitimate public interest and intrusive spectacle. When a photo of a public figure circulates, creators and audiences face a choice: sensationalize or contextualize. The most constructive responses treat the image as an entry point into a broader narrative about career choices, personal priorities, or public roles rather than reducing a person to a single physical detail. That kind of storytelling is what actually adds value and keeps viewers engaged beyond a single click. Context matters because the moment surrounding this photo includes other high-profile developments that are shifting attention toward Melania. Recent reporting shows that she's an active participant behind certain projects and that media interest in her life has expanded into larger productions, including a high-profile documentary project that has begun circulating first images and headlines. Those developments change the stakes. An image that might have been a passing curiosity now sits alongside a narrative about personal perspective, legacy, and control over how a life is documented. Beyond headlines, Melania's activities this year reveal a pattern: selective public involvement, continued advocacy in chosen policy areas, and moments that are clearly staged to communicate a particular tone or message. Whether planning holiday traditions, supporting targeted initiatives, or participating in carefully arranged appearances, these choices shape a public persona that prefers craft and control. Against that backdrop, an informal photo acts like a small rupture. It briefly loosens the frame and allows people to project nostalgia, curiosity, or critique onto a private moment. For creators covering this story, there's a clear editorial responsibility. It's easy to chase clicks with provocative language, but a better long-term strategy is to lead with context, respect, and curiosity. Explain why the photo matters. Connect it to recent developments, both media and personal, and avoid reducing the person to a single attribute. That approach not only builds credibility with an audience, it converts fleeting attention into meaningful engagement and watch time. Audience reaction to this particular photo also highlights how fandom and skepticism coexist online. Admirers point to elegance and the arc of a public life. Critics question the mechanics of image production and public messaging. Both perspectives fuel the conversation, but the healthiest discussions are those that move from surface-level commentary to deeper questions. What is image for a public figure? How does intentional curation differ from candid visibility? What does authenticity mean when someone's life has been, by necessity or design, highly mediated? It's worth noting that the ways images are produced and circulated have changed dramatically. We now live in an environment where official portraits, candid snapshots, and documentary stills can all be parsed by millions within hours. That acceleration heightens both the potential and the responsibility of coverage. If a documentary or official project is also in the works, as recent reporting suggests, the conversation around one photo becomes part of a larger visual archive that will shape public memory for years. At the end of the day, Moments like this remind us that public figures, whether they seek the spotlight or manage it carefully, are read through the lenses of others. A single image can be a flashpoint, but it can also be a doorway to fuller understanding. For Melania Trump, the photo that stunned some fans is less an endpoint than a prompt. A chance to revisit a complicated public life with a bit more curiosity and a lot less quick judgment. Thanks for watching and thinking along. Tell me what angle you'd like next. A deeper look at the documentary First Look, a timeline of Melania's public image, or a roundup of the best contextual commentary so far.